Okay, Brad Pitt couldn't make it today, so you've got me. Going to try and show you how to check the valve clearances on this little Honda GX160. Basically the same deal for all the Honda range. So this is a job that's a lot easier with the spark plug out. So we're going to start there. This machine needs a service anyway, so that's something I've got to do. So we'll just take the spark plug out. Okay. Right. Okay, then you've got 4 bolts to take the rocker cover off, and you've got this little pipe here that's just getting pulled out the rocker cover. So we'll take them 4 bolts off. Okay, and that's the bolts for the rocker cover now. Okay, we'll just put those to one side. Okay, now also what we're going to want to do is to take the recoil off, because there are marks, a mark on the fan pulley that shows you where top dead centre is. So that's kind of helpful. I mean, you could just do it by putting a screwdriver in the spark plug hole and feeling where it gets to the top. But in theory, there should be a mark on here. Plus you've got this so you can turn it by. I don't know what that is in there. It feels like there's something loose. Oh, I can see it. What is it? Well, I'll deal with that later. I'm not sure what that is. Something's floating about in there. It's probably not desirable. Can't see the mark on this one. But no, I can't see the mark on that. But so we can do it with the because basically the valve clearances are adjusted. I'll put this out of the way with the engine at top dead centre. Okay, now if I come around here, I'll just find top dead centre, like this. You feel pushing it up and then rocking over at the top. That is top dead centre. I'm just going to scratch a little mark on here to help myself, really, so I can see where it is. Right, now the thing is about doing the valve clearances, there are 2 cycles of top dead centre, but only one of them is suitable for checking the valves at. So you'll see that as you turn it once, it comes up to top dead centre, and the valves are still moving at top dead centre. That's the wrong cycle to check it on. The next one round, as you approach top dead centre, the valves will be stationary like that, you see. That's where you need to check it. It's a common mistake to do it on the wrong cycle and everything's all over the place. So then what we're looking for, and this has to be done cold by the way, no point doing this on a hot engine. So then I usually just have a feel anyway, just to give myself an idea, and that feels like maybe a little tight. Not far off though, but we check it with feeler gauges. The inlet valve should be about 6 thou. So and what you do is you just slide that feeler gauge in there and just wiggle that about so it's got every chance of going in. That definitely feels a bit tight in there, and the exhaust one should be about 8 thou, and that's not far out, that one actually. What you can do is you can get a feeler gauge at 8 thou and then one at say 10 thou. If the 8 thou will go in and the 10 thou won't, then you know you're somewhere about right. But this, just through experience, I can tell that 8 thou is about right. But this inlet valve on this side, it should be 6, is a bit tight, so I'm going to adjust it. Now to adjust it, you need a 14mm spanner on there and a 10mm spanner on this top one. Now the important thing is you must keep the 14mm absolutely stationary, because if that moves you can end up unscrewing this post that the whole rocker sits on. So you keep that stationary and you turn the 10 like that to loosen it. Okay, now we know it's tight, so I'm just going to back that 14mm off a bit, tighten the 10 up, check it again with this 6 thou feeler gauge, and that feels much happier than me. But then what you do once you've done that is you turn it through 2 top dead centres again, or just spin it over a few times just to give things a chance to settle. And then remember, it's not the top dead centre with the valves moving, it's the next one. So bring that around to there, and it's that one. Look, the valves, top dead centre, and the valves. Well, yeah, the valves are stationary as you approach top dead centre, and then once you go past, it's starting to move. So it's that one rather than the one where this happens. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Just check that really is top dead centre with me thingy. Yeah, I'm not far off. Yep, looks good. So I'm going to check them again now. Now things have had a chance to. Okay, that feels good. Okay, and that feels good. The thing is, if the valve clearances are too tight, then you won't get proper compression. If they're too loose, then the decompressor that is on the crankshaft won't be able to work. So make the starting the engine very hard. I've just got a this is a camshaft out of a Honda engine, and this little thing here, that little thing that's moving there, is the decompressor. This is the cam, and the decompressor part, that just holds the valve up in the air a bit, you see, to make it easier to start. Well, you imagine if your valve clearances are too loose, that decompressor is not going to function, so you're going to be starting against the full force of the engine. So what that does, when it's stationary, that just holds the inlet valve up a bit to make it easier to start, and then as soon as it's running, centrifugal force makes that flick out of the way like that, so that then it's operating normally. So they want to be about right within a thou or two in order to work properly. Then once you've got all that right, just clean this part off, any bits of muck or grime that are on there. Okay, that's not too bad. Just this one's fairly clean anyway. Same with this part, the rocker cover. That's got a gasket on there. I'll just find myself a bit of rag and give it a wipe round. Make sure everything's okay with that. I don't want to have any bits of old gasket stuck on it. So clean that up. Then you get your new gasket. That sits on there like that. Now you can just put that on there with a little bit of silicone mastic, just to make sure you get a good seal, and then a bit on this side as well, and then that goes back on like that. Now the important thing is these bolts, okay, that hold it on, you don't want to crank them up really tight, because if you do, it will distort this cover and it will leak. But if you do them really loose, then they'll rattle undone. So what I do is I get a bit of this high temperature silicone mastic. There's lots of things you could use to do the job, but I just get a bit of that and I put a bit of that on the bolts, so that kind of glues them in. Even though they're not done up very hard, very tight, they won't come undone with a bit of that in the threads. So that's what I do, just put a bit of that on there, and then put those in there. Those in there. Those in there like that. Okay. Okay. So you just get them started finger tight like that. Now, when you do these up, right, gently does it. Don't put any force on the thing at all, really, because You distort that cover and then it will just leak forevermore. So just nipped up. That's all they need, just nipped up. That's it. But you're definitely not going to need to put a bit of pipe on this or anything. Just that's it. Just nipped up like that, and then once you've put that, that's the oil breather pipe. Put that back in. Then you've got your spark plug to go back in and put a new one in this anyway. So. Okay, and always start the spark plug by hand. Sometimes I use a bit of rubber pipe like that just to get hold of it, so you can just wind it in, get it well wound in by hand before you start cranking it up. That's it, just wind in like that. Then a spark plug spanner on it, and a little screwdriver. And then just like that, just nip it up so it starts to squash the little washer. That back on there, put the recoil back on and you're done.